Millions of people have mysteriously vanished in America's wilderness. Join us as we dive into the deep end of the unexplainable and try to piece together what happened. You are listening to Locations Unknown. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Locations Unknown. I'm your co-host, Joe Irado, and with me, as always, is a guy who can slam a revolving door, Mike Vandebogart.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you once again to all of our amazing listeners for tuning in. Just to have a few updates here before we get going. First, would like to give thank you to some new Patreon shout-outs. So thank you to Kylie Amato, Andrea Broger, Kelly Leadingham, Ashley Kenny, Rebecca Haddon, and Diane Paredes.
I think you got it.
Awesome.
Paredes.
Also like to give a thanks to our research help on this episode, Cherish Green. So thank you so much for helping out. If you want to leave a voicemail, you can tell us anything. You like us, you hate us, you thought we said something really stupid.
Say something nice about Cherish doing a great job on the show.
Yes, you can call 208-391-6913. Just remember, anything you say might be used in a future episode.
Can and will be used against you.
Yeah. You can also support the show through various platforms. We're on Patreon. We're temporarily not on YouTube memberships. We'll get that sorted out here. So apologize to anyone listening that had a subscription on YouTube memberships.
So the subscribers got kicked off too when we got demonetized?
Yeah, it pauses them and then it kicks them off after 120 days. Yeah, we got demonetized on YouTube temporarily, so we'll be back.
Super controversial stuff.
Yeah, not really.
We were reposting national park videos because we thought they were
a long time ago. We haven't done it in a while.
Well, and we thought they're public domain, so we were just reposting them. But
we only did it because their website where they keep the videos is awful, and
yeah.
We were creating playlists for the different parks we were talking about, so it was they were kind of cool videos.
Actually, we should plug, that was the idea we talked about, is potentially starting another channel that we don't monetize, just to organize the national park videos for people to watch.
Yeah, we may still do that.
Yeah, so if you like that idea, and you can each of you get 10 followers to come on our show, then let us know and we'll do it.
So we're also on Apple subscriptions. Spreaker, our new host, has a subscription platform. And did I miss any?
I don't know.
That's a lot of them.
Anywhere where you do anything, we're there.
You can also support the show through buying merchandise from the show. We've got bumper stickers and stuff like that on
all the fun things.
Website store, Facebook store, all that kind of stuff. Joe, you have a few updates.
I do have a few updates. So I'll say one update on the media company. We've been meeting. We have some plans, so it's exciting. We have a new show coming out. If you've been following us on social media, you saw a teaser for it. That's going to be starting up soon. Very excited. So I'll leave it at that.
We're not doing it. It's a partner we're bringing in.
Yeah, that's unnecessary information.
Oh, well, we'll cut it.
Okay. No, we won't.
We'll cut that.
Oh, that's super loud. Holy cow. If I'm hearing it through my headphones, that must be obnoxious.
Sorry, a motorcycle drove by.
That's crazy.
That was the music from it.
It was like the South Park. Like all the guys rolling through town, they're just ruining everyone's good time.
Yeah.
So anyway, one thing we didn't mention on the last episode, but we were posting on socials, we entered in a partnership with Farmhouse Soaps out of California. Longtime listener and fan of the show, Suzanne Moak, creates these, and she put together this package. It's a travel package with some lip balm and 3 different types of soaps with all natural products. They're fantastic. Yeah. I used them. They're great. And her branding was so awesome. She named I think the lip stuff is Off the Deep End.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of, or Location Profile. There's different names relative to the show. So you can go check that out at Farmhouse Soaps. We'll put the link in the bio. I'll repost it on socials too with a link.
They're great and they're not very expensive.
No, it's like $12 for the whole kit.
And you're supporting our show and you're supporting a small business.
Yeah, it's like $12 for the whole kit. So it's It's a good get.
Yeah.
And then one last thing. I didn't see what she did. What'd she do?
It's about to moon us.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That would have been fantastic. That's
Yeah.
what we need to make the show go big.
80-year-old moon.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best. Anyway, last one, and then I promise we're getting to it because I know the people that hate that we take long are really mad. I just wanted to give a shout out to a small product. I met the owner in Colorado. I was out there with my kids hiking, and it's called MNTN Ready, and it's mountain ready, and it's this. It's kind of like when you see like the flavor packets you put in water.
Yeah.
It's basically that. However, it's a bunch of vitamins and minerals and things to help you with altitude sickness.
Oh, cool.
And I have 2 people in my family that were with me that normally get altitude sickness. And we climbed a mountain. We're up high. They were taking this. 0 issues.
Nice.
Like no effect at all. So I'll put some information about that in there as well. I'll post online because it's just a great product. You can only get it from the website. They're real small right now. I'm hoping they get huge and then they sponsor the show in a more
so they're
formal way.
not sponsored. This is just a personal recommendation by Joe.
Yeah, it's a great product that works. So go give them some of your money, get some of their product, and then hopefully they'll give us some of their money later.
There you go.
To talk about it again. All right, everybody, let's gear up and get out to explore locations unknown. February 23rd, 2019. After embarking on a solo 10-day trek through the Sierra Nevadas, a 1st Division Marine with mountaineering and survival training never returned. 13 agencies searched for more than a week with no clues. Join us this week as we investigate the disappearance of Matthew Kraft. So, in this episode, we are going to the Inyo National Forest, specifically Independence, California to Bridgeport, California, of the Sierra Nevada mountain range.
About 195 miles.
195 miles. So it's the Sierra High Route that we're talking about. This route was created by Steve Roper in the 1980s. Described in his book, Sierra High Route, Traversing Timberline County, published April 30th, 1997.
And actually, we found out it was, I believe, 1982 when it was published.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you didn't update it?
Nope.
You just read about it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The Sierra High Route is mostly a backcountry route beginning in the Inyo National Forest and runs through Yosemite National Park, concluding in Twin Lakes just southwest of Bridgeport, California. So the main search area was in the Kearsarge Pass Trail, beginning at the end of Onion Valley Road, traveling through the John Muir Wilderness, Inyo National Forest, Kearsarge Pass Trail. It is 4 miles to the top of the 11,700-foot pass. It continues into Kings Canyon National Park to join the John Muir Trail at Bullfrog Lake. That is 6.5 miles from the Kearsarge Pass trailhead to John Muir Trail Junction.
Get all that straight in your head.
I know, right? So it's Californians in that area that know it. So it'll be like, you were just talking about it. Yeah. The SNL skit, the Californians.
Take that to the John Muir Trail.
Yeah, it just continues through Kings Canyon National Park to join the John Muir Trail at Bullfrog Lake. It's only 6.5 miles from the Kearsarge Pass Trailhead to John Muir Trail Junction. Devin, what are you doing here? There's going to be so many people that have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
Look up the Californians SNL skit. It's actually quite hilarious. All right. So anyway, it was established May 25th, 1907, and sees an annual of 4 million visitors per year. It is estimated that only about 10 people hike the entire 195-mile-long trail each year, however, with more traffic coming from section hikers in the various national parks and trails that are along the route, as well as hikers doing parallel, more tame John Muir Trail, which is only 77 miles. So For those who don't know, on these long trails, you can do one of two things. You can be a through hiker, where you go from the start to the finish in one shot. So it can take days, months, however long it is. Or you can be a section hiker, where over the course of a long period of time, you hike different sections to then eventually complete the trail.
Yeah. And I think this just shows how difficult this pass is, that only about 10 people do it, like, you know, the full trail every year.
Do more people do the PCT than that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Way more. Yeah. I think when we get into the timeline and everything, you'll realize how difficult, especially the time of year this guy was doing it.
Well, he's a Marine. That's why he's doing it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
With the experience. All right, so we'll talk a little bit about the habitation of the area. The origin and meaning of Inyo is believed to be a pont for the dwelling place of the Great Spirit. The Inyo National Forest was named for Inyo County, in which the greater part of the forest is located. At the time of the earliest contact with Europeans and the beginning of written record roughly 200 years ago, the forest was home to the Owens Valley and Mono Lake plot in the north. The Shoshone, Kawusu, and, that one's a hard one, Tabatulabol in the south, and the Muick and Mono to the west and northwest. I know you were grinning the whole time you were writing this and looking through it, weren't you? Much is unknown about the first peoples who utilized and shaped the forest beginning 12,000 to 13,000 years ago, though it is known that the Owens Valley plot and their Shoshone neighbors to the south and east practice similar ways of life. Following seasonal rounds to harvest plants, animals, and insects at different elevations and locales as they become available. This land where their desert meets mountains was first reserved for its timber, water, and forage. The forest today remains home to many Pot, Mono, and Shoshone tribes along the Sierra front and a destination for about 4 million visitors from around the world each year. So we'll talk a little bit about the climate, and according to our friends at the Köppen Climate Classification System, the Kearsarge Pass and Peak have an alpine climate with weather fronts originating in the Pacific Ocean, traveling eastward toward the Sierra Nevada mountains. As the fronts approach, they are forced upward by the peaks, causing them to drop their moisture in the form of rain and snowfall onto the range.
Just think of it like wringing out a towel.
Yes, that's a great way to think about it, Mike.
As the weather is going up the mountain.
Temps can vary 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit as you change elevation. So in the foothills, you can expect to have mild, wet winters, hot, dry summers, and the precipitation from January to May. Summer rain is rare. Average rainfall is about 26 inches or 66 centimeters for our European listeners. Low-hanging clouds obscured the countryside for days at a time in the winter. And we'll get... Why is that in millimeters?
We'll just skip that.
Yeah, I don't know. 1,246 millimeters of snow on average in the February in Sequoia National Park. Okay. Sequoia Groves. Deep blankets of snow in the winter from December to May. Summers offer warm days and cool evenings. 40 to 45 inches of precipitation annually. Winters tend to be harsh at these high elevations, with avalanches and snowstorms regularly reported and anticipated. Many of the motor-accessible roads are closed off from December to March due to the harsh weather conditions. So the best time to visit? May to October. Worst time to visit? December to March.
Shocking.
The terrain, it's forest, alpine, tundra, and lakes. As we said, there's avalanches, snow bridges, high winds, and glaciers. There are 33 passes, and in those you'll have boulder fields, talus slopes, granite slabs, occasional meadows, and lake basins. Elevations range anywhere from 9,600 feet to 11,700 feet. And we'll talk about a little bit of the animals in the area outside of the harsh conditions. In the low elevation, you have gray fox, bobcat, skunks, black bear, wood rats, gophers, mouse, snakes, California king snake, and California newts. In the mid areas, we have mule deer, black bears, mountain lions, a variety of birds, and reptiles are not that common, but occasionally a mountain king snake or boa, rubber boa or western fenced lizard, and alligator lizards will be seen. When we get up to the high country, obviously less mammals as food is scarce, so we have marmots. I love marmots so much.
They are pretty funny
They're
looking.
so oafy.
Yeah.
I always post videos of them when I see them, like when they're getting baths and stuff. They look like they're just appalled and confused all the time. love marmots. Let's see. We have a bunch of different birds. I'm not going to read all these. We might occasionally see a mountain yellow-legged frog, though, or Sierra Nevada bighorn sheep. Those are both endangered species. All in all, there are 14 amphibians, 11 types of fish, 200 types of birds, 72 mammals, 21 reptile species that all live in the park. So, difficulty in general. You definitely need a permit to do this, which you can get in advance via the Sequoia Kings National Park or Yosemite National Park. Trailless, it's so good. Route finding and map compass skills are essential. So, if you don't know how to navigate without a trail, don't do this.
No.
The search area that was for this case was larger than the state of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy because we say like these, when we're dealing with these parks, we talk about their sizes so much and compare them to states. But think about trying to find a single person in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And it's all wooded.
And alpine.
Yeah,
it's
alpine.
Not just flat ground.
Yeah, and you only have like a few hundred people.
Yeah.
Maybe, or I don't know how many people are in this search. We didn't get there yet, but it's difficult snow year with rough conditions. 200% of the average snowfall was in 2019.
Yeah, so this year, the time you went missing, a lot of snowfall.
Yeah, so the avalanches were up, snow bridges were an issue, cornices were an issue, multiple points of potential issues, and dizzying altitudes will all play a role. So, Mike, let's learn about Matthew Kraft.
Yeah, so the subject of our case today is Matthew Kraft. He was born 8/23/1994. He went missing February 23rd, 2019. His remains have not been found. He was a male, age 24. He was 6'1", 185 pounds, blonde hair, short cut, obviously a Marine with that, low and tight. What's the Marine haircut called? High and tight or something? Or low and, I don't know. I got that butchered.
I'm going to look it up.
So clothing and gear he was last seen in. So he was known to wear dark earth tone colors. He had a large osprey backpack, rain cover, shadow gray. He had a mustard colored tent. Let's see here. He had black and blue ski boots, white, red, black diamond skis. He had orange crampons. He had a headlamp. He had a sleeping system called a Quick Point, developed for extreme weather down to minus 20 degrees. He had an iPhone in a case, and he had Oakley sunglasses. And he did have a water filtration system with him. So obviously being a Marine, and we'll get into a little bit of his training, he was very prepared for surviving in the cold. And I don't know if Joe will have some pictures here if you're watching the video of this. Personality of Matthew. Friends and family described him as a sweet and honest young boy, responsible and driven as a teen, and incredibly fit and conscientious, I can't say that tonight, in his military tenure. His Marine colleagues described him as an exceptional officer, unlike any they'd previously met. So all around sounded like a really great guy. He was very passionate about the Marine service, and you just really got to salute anyone that joins the military to serve the country. So here's a quote from someone in the Marines. Many Marines say they love the Marine Corps. Marine Corps, wrote First Lieutenant Isaiah Jawardo, a platoon leader in the same company with Kraft. They get tattoos of the eagle, the globe, and the anchor on their chests and put stickers on their cars to let everyone know. But a special kind of Marine needs no words, symbols, or proclamations to describe their love for the Corps. Their love is found in late nights at the office, their stoicism in harsh conditions, genuine concern for subordinates, and adherence to what is right regardless of the situation. These Marines live on through their influence and deeds, setting the example for the rest to come. Matt was one of these Marines. So that's really high praise for someone. It sounds
it's really nice.
It sounds like he probably was one of the best, human beings that you could possibly meet. A real nice guy outside of, work and very passionate about what he did. So
Outside of work.
So occupation, he was a platoon leader with the 1st Battalion, 7th Marines at 29 Palms, which is part of the 1st Marine Division at Camp Pendleton. He absolutely loved skiing and mountaineering, hiking, fishing, and just the outdoors in general. According to 1st Marine Captain Paul Gainey, he has the skills to survive in harsh environments, and we're hoping for the best here. So he had done some hiking he did a 14-day hike from New Hampshire to Canada, and he's hiked the 40 peaks of the White Mountains in New Hampshire, and he had plans to do the Appalachian Trail. So he also, experience in the wilderness. Obviously, we said he was an infantry officer course and Winter Mountain Leader course graduate from the Winter Mountain Warfare Training Center. And after his death, he was promoted to first lieutenant, promoted from first lieutenant to the rank of captain. So, obviously, this gentleman was very well trained in winter survival, and just based on his experience outside of the Marines, just all the hiking he did in New Hampshire, and probably one of the more experienced people we've talked about on the show.
Yeah, there's the other one was also, he wasn't a Marine, was he? He was, or was he like an Army Ranger or something?
Kim Crumbo, I believe.
Yeah,
he was. I may get the facts wrong, but he was in the military, maybe Army Ranger in Vietnam.
Okay,
and he survived a helicopter crash.
Yeah, that's like our two military guys are also like survival experts and everything.
Yeah. So, experience at this location. He had hiked this same exact route in the summer of 2018 to get an idea of what the trail would be like. And he also went through mountaineering training twice with the Marine Corps at Bridgeport, preparing for high altitudes and harsh conditions. So very experienced in the outdoors. It actually had hiked this trail in the past. Obviously, summer hiking is different than hiking it in February. But all around, I would say, out of anyone we've talked to, like I said, he's probably been the most prepared for what he was actually going to do. So that's what makes his disappearance that much more troubling. So just a couple people involved in this case. So Greg Kraft, that is his father, and this was the main point of contact for the media. And Roxanne Kraft, obviously his mother, and she mainly handled a lot of the updates on social media, which mainly was Facebook at the time. So getting right into the timeline, we're going to start it on February 23rd of 2019. So with private approval from the Marine Corps, Kraft sets out with his plan to ski and hike through the Inyo National Forest into Kings Canyon National Park on a 195-mile northbound 10-day trek. And Joe already did a great job explaining this trail in his location profile. So
thank you, Mike. That was very nice of you to say.
You're welcome. So he parked his Jeep Wrangler near the Kearsarge trailhead, beginning his planned trek. His plan was to hike northwest out of Kearsarge Pass February 24th and hike out near the Twin Lakes area by Bridgeport on March 4th or 5th. He had meticulously left plans, brought extra rations, and built in several days in case of changes he might encounter. And if you go back to the show notes, Joe, we have a link for a likely a route that he might have taken, and you can check it on All Trails just to get an idea of the terrain.
Oh, it's in the show notes.
Show notes, yeah. Here, I'll click to it.
Well, just keep going. I'll pull it up.
All right. Well, I clicked on it, so find that.
Yep.
So now it's March 4th of 2019. So this was when Matthew was reported missing to the Mono County Sheriff's Office by his father, Greg Kraft. And he did this when he didn't hear from him, as Matthew should have finished his trek by the 4th or 5th. So, and he had last spoken to his father 2 days before setting out. So, okay, there we go. Joe, if you're just listening, we have one of the likely routes that Matthew might have taken pulled up here on All Trails. And just to give you the idea of looking at the elevation changes.
64,000 feet of elevation gain over 213 miles.
That is wild.
That's insane. That's climbing up Everest twice.
Yeah, that's
like from sea level.
Yeah.
Because like when you do Everest, you're starting up some like high. You're not starting at zero.
Yeah, you start at base camp.
But it's what, 30-some thousand feet? So
29,000, I think.
Oh, it's over 30.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Oh, can we do money? Can we do money? I think it's 31,000 feet.
I think it's like 29.5.
All right, how much money?
Let's see who's right.
Oh, I hope I'm right.
29.
Oh, good thing I didn't figure out how to make money. I thought it was over 30,000 feet.
No.
That's even crazier then, because then it's like almost 3 Everests.
Yeah.
It's not. It's It's almost 30. So
Joe's good at math.
I'm terrible at that.
So, yeah, that is insane elevation gain. Obviously, that takes you many weeks to do. 213 miles.
Yeah, that's insane.
And he was doing this in February, which we know for a fact there was.
Now hold on.
Okay.
If he's skiing, the downs will go real fast.
Yeah.
So there's probably a benefit to, if you know what you're doing it in the winter, so you don't have to like really do too much on foot. You're sliding the most. There is a motorcycle brigade coming through here.
Yeah.
That's insane. All right, keep going. It'll get mostly blocked out. the South Park where they're all just like, remember that episode?
Yeah,
just ruining everything.
I mean, I love Milwaukee in the summer, but one of the things I can't stand. Sorry to anyone listening if you're a Harley rider, but I just can't stand Harleys. They're so loud.
Yeah, well, they make them unnecessarily loud around here.
So, gosh, where was I? Oh, we were talking
about how long this is.
How insane. Now, this is a likely route. We don't know if this is the exact route he took. But this just gives you an idea of the terrain, what it would take to do this. I'm just in shock. We've never done a trail that had 64,000 feet of elevation gain.
Yeah, I know, right?
So he planned to ski a lot of this. So
yeah. I wonder if he snowshoed up and skied down.
That still doesn't diminish the accomplishment.
No, not at all. I'm not saying that to diminish. I'm just saying, he could have done it maybe a little bit faster. I don't know.
I'm sure, like, if anyone could have done this, over the average, it would have been him.
Yes.
Based on just his character profile.
Absolutely.
So, like we said, he had back to the timeline. Like we'd said, he'd last spoken to his father 2 days before setting out, so that would have been the 21st. And he was reported missing on the 4th or 5th of March. Or not, the 4th of March. So, Mono County Sheriff's Office began searching near trailheads in the Bridgeport area, hoping that he'd made it to his northern destination. They, utilizing cell phone forensics, they discovered that his last phone activity was in the Independence area, near an Onion Valley trailhead parking lot, approximately 195 miles south of Bridgeport, closer to his starting point. So it's March 5th now of 2019. So now other agencies are starting to get involved in the search. So Inyo County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue joined the search. Kraft's friend Isaiah Gerardo decides to head to the trailhead near Bridgeport, where he was supposed to pick up Matthew after not hearing from him. He received a call from Matthew's dad, Greg Kraft, that alarmed him after having spent most of the day at the trailhead waiting on Matthew. Fast forwarding now to March 8th of 2019. It's around 9 p.m. Kraft's rented two-door...
Jeez. It's crazy night tonight. Holy cow.
It's wild out there.
Yeah. All right, just keep going. It will block most of it out, even if we can hear it.
Yeah, no, you don't have to keep telling me to keep going. I'll go. We're professionals here.
All right.
So, like I said, it's March 8th of 2019, 9 p.m. Kraft's rented two-door gray Jeep Wrangler is found in Lower Grays Meadow, which is the Onion Valley parking area above Independence, California, approximately 2 miles from the Kearsarge trailhead. Let's see here. We got a picture of the Jeep. So it's still March 9th. So it's the day 6 of the search. Onion Valley Road is closed due to heavy snow and rockfall. So they had to use snowcats to transport the search teams. And we may have pictures of that. There's one.
I got it pulled up.
Yeah. So at 8,000 feet, 2 miles from the trailhead, debris of a recent avalanche was found with evidence of smaller avalanches as well in chutes across the road. Fresno County Sheriff provided aerial reconnaissance, CHP H-80, H-40, and Air National Guard reporting several significant avalanches throughout the Sierra Backcountry and along the Sierra High Route. So now it is March 10th. Ground searches at this time were canceled due to bad weather and danger of avalanches. It sounds like we said earlier that they had gotten over 200% snowfall this year. So that obviously leads to a higher avalanche danger. And it sounds like they're happening just all over the backcountry. Probably pretty hazardous to hike and search. I mean,
you can see, look at the snow up against his house.
Yeah.
See if how far I can zoom in without it getting too gnarly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely up to like the base of the roof.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. I mean, that's a 1-story building. I don't know if it's standard, but that's a lot of snow.
8 or 9 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of snow.
Yeah. So think like, we say it's dangerous to hike in it, but so these searchers have to go out in this. So, I mean, the searchers are just susceptible to avalanche dangers as a hiker would be. So
yeah, absolutely.
More credit to these, people going out there to search. But so after the ground search was canceled due to the bad weather and danger, some airbase searches commenced. Sequoia and Kings National Park joined in on the search, providing another helicopter. The boundary now for the search started at the top of Kearsarge Pass and extended for approximately 70 miles of the Sierra High Route. So that is a massive area to be searching. And look at these conditions they're searching in. I mean,
yeah,
it's just crazy.
At least it's like nice out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it's like snowing or blizzarding, like on top of it?
You wouldn't be able to go out there and search.
Yeah, it would be, you'd be losing so many more people.
Yeah. So aircraft utilize thermal and night vision imagery. They used this technology called RECO, R-E-C-C-O technology to find people buried at an avalanche. And they did find a heat spot, but it was found to be a hibernating bear. So,
oh, jeez.
Yeah. They also found other areas.
That's kind of really cool.
Yeah.
Like you can find the hot spots right away.
Yeah. So, they searched other areas that they got, signatures of heat, but nothing, provided any clues to where Matthew might have been. So it's now March 11th, 2019. So avalanche experts being towed on skis by the snowcat deployed to clear the east route and assess the risk of future avalanches. Oh, and there's a cool picture of one of the guys getting towed.
I'll get there. You can't talk about pictures I'm not showing.
I'm just talking to myself here. March 16th now, 2019. Search moved to limited continuous mode due to severe weather conditions. Thick clouds hampered the aerial search, and the winter weather made the ski and ground searches just unsafe. So, and there was another forecasted storm coming in that Saturday afternoon that was going to last through the weekend. So, just a really tough environment to search in. Like we said, they had record amounts of snow that led to frequent avalanche warnings in the area. So the final news release about the search and rescue operation was published with the INSEE Web Incident Information System going to inactive status, meaning no updates would be posted, but anyone looking for info about the search would remain accessible. So, but however, the link to it now doesn't work any longer. It is now August of 2019, so we're fast forward a few months. So with most of the snow melted and granite rock exposed, Kraft's family resumed the search for Matthew, handing out hundreds of flyers to hikers in the area. And search teams once again combed the area for evidence and still found no signs of Kraft. So I have some theories on this, but It's now September 28th of 2019. The family held a memorial service near their home at the First Congregational Church of Washington. More than 215 people came to show their respect. So
That's nice.
Yeah. Now, at some point in 2021, Kraft's alma mater, Rumsey Hall School, established the Matthew C. Kraft 09 Memorial Reward for Leadership, created to honor Matthew's memory and to fund a student outdoor leadership trip prior to the student's senior year, which is really cool and
That is cool.
nice gesture.
That's how I got into all this, was doing these types of trips when I was in high school.
Interesting.
The show wouldn't exist and we wouldn't have met.
Would have happened.
Yep.
In all, there was an amazing amount of resources in the field looking for Matthew. Here's just a list of some of the organizations involved: the Marine Corps Air National Guard, Mono County Search and Rescue, Inyo County Sheriff, Fresno County Sheriff, Yosemite National Park, Air National Guard, and the California Office of Emergency Services. They also had some really cool search methods. They used, like we said, those special snowcat units that would do a rope tow up to the Onion Valley parking area near Independence, California. They also had 2 avalanche experts leading the search team as they navigate real avalanche heavy areas. So one final note before we get into theories. This was a pretty recent case, so individuals with any information regarding Kraft's whereabouts should immediately contact the Inyo County Sheriff's Office at 760-878-0383, option 4. You could also contact the Mono County Sheriff's Office at 760-932-7549, option 7, or the Fresno County Sheriff's Office at 559-600-8400. And if you, for additional inquiries, please contact the 1st Marine Division Press Officer, Captain Paul Gainey, at 760-725-9226, or you can email him at paul.gainey, that's Gainey, at usmc.mil. So, anyone knows anything about this? It's obviously been a few years since it happened, but, the Marines declared him dead. So, the family got closure in a sense by that, but obviously his remains were never found. So, going into theories, sorry. So, the likely theory from the Marines was that he died of exposure from severe winter weather. On-scene search and rescue experts believe he was overcome by severe weather and exposure due to the increased avalanche activity in the area. Family and friends. So Matthew's father, Greg Kraft, has kept a candle lit since March 16th, the day after the Marine Corps officially pronounced Matthew dead, to guide Matthew home. He thinks Matthew made it through the Kearsarge Pass through the bad weather, as he had traveled 30 miles a day in the White Mountains in New Hampshire and was strong as a moose. So that's what family thinks. Here's just some other opinions, scraped from the internet, from most explainable to crazy. So here's some of the most explainable. Obviously, theory number 1, he succumbed to bad weather and wind exposure due to the really bad storms and avalanches in the area. Sadly, one of the theories was he might have gotten crushed or buried in an avalanche. Another theory was he fell down the side of one of the steep granite peaks or gorges or slick and icy snow slopes that was covered in snow. Another really plausible one was a snow bridge collapse. Those can be really dangerous because you can't tell it's a snow bridge when you're on top of it. And there's not like a map of snow bridges.
Yeah, you're just going to be stuck falling down.
Yeah,
and you think it's solid ground and then just drop out from underneath you.
Yeah, so snow bridges can be really dangerous in, areas like this. So locals from the area, I just had a couple quotes from people that live in the area. And first gentleman said, "I was in the area the week of his disappearance. I remember that storm very well. It was the worst winter weather I've ever seen, and I'm a snowmobiler." He said, "I chase blizzards." Another person wrote, "The avalanche forecast indicated this tour was basically suicide by adventure from the outset." So locals in the area said it was some of the worst winter weather they've ever experienced. And places like this experience a lot of winter weather, so
That's right when he started.
yeah. So for
That's
people
wild.
that live there to say this was the worst they've seen in their lives, like, you know it's bad because
Yeah.
the Sierras get a ton of snow. I mean, snow. They're not strangers
Like
to snow.
thousands of millimeters.
So, one of the off the deep ends was he ran into a hibernating black bear while looking for cover from a storm and unfortunately met his demise. So,
I wouldn't say that's off the deep end.
yeah, I guess it's not off the deep end, but not
Yeah.
plausible.
That's what Cherish thinks is off the deep end.
Yeah, so
Which is fine. I would say off the deep end would be like an alien.
alien or vortice,
Yeah, it's like that's off the deep end.
like a Bigfoot like a snow Bigfoot,
Yeah, I mean,
or a bearnado.
yeah, a Bearnado. Yeah, if you don't have a Patreon account, you need to get Patreon and listen to our last Patreon episode. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I think fell into a tree well. I don't think is that insane.
Okay. Yeah, that's not. I mean, are there gonna be a lot of trees at that elevation?
Well, you wouldn't know
Yeah.
if you're skiing down. So when that's going to happen is when you're skiing.
Yeah.
And he's going to get too close to a tree. For those who don't know, a tree well is like as snow packs around in these areas. If you have a tree that's full-size tree, it's like an evergreen, and snow starts falling around it, it might not pack into where the base of the tree is. So if you're skiing next to the tree and all of a sudden you just fall down into the quote-unquote well where the tree is, if you have your skis on, you can get stuck upside down in the snow.
Only thing is, I think you would find the remains in the spring.
If you know where to look.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're
Depending-
talking
we
about
don't know
a
where
search
he-
area the size of Rhode Island.
Yeah, so like I know they didn't think he made it too far from the start, but still it's a huge area. So, and then as spring comes, it will overgrow and things like that. So I don't think that one's that crazy.
No, that isn't
I don't
actually.
know, what do you think? What are you thinking?
I think the most plausible explanation is probably avalanche related. I think it sounds like there were so many avalanches going on that he probably, unfortunately, the weather probably already was bad. So
How many did they say during the search? Like 2 or 3?
A lot of them. I don't remember.
And they searched for like a week.
Yeah, it was bad enough they had to call off the ground search because of avalanches.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I'm on the avalanche train with you.
Yeah, and you think about like an avalanche. So if he's in like driving heavy snow, he's not going to be able to see it coming. Like it's not like a clear blue day out where
like if it's storming.
Yeah, if it's storming
I
and it's
didn't even
windy
think
and you
about
can't
that.
like if you're on a mountain that it has a lot of snow and an avalanche starts like and it's a clear blue day, I mean, you can see it coming.
Yeah.
It's not like the speed of light. It not saying that you could get out of its way because it could be.
Yeah, but there's people have out skied it and like
and they
avoided
can
it.
They can, but if you're in like a heavy, severe storm or even at night, if he did any night hiking and the wind is whipping around you and the snow is coming down and you can't see 2 feet in front of you, you're never going to see it coming.
Yeah.
It's just going to hit you.
Yeah.
And think of how far it might move him then too. Like it may bury him or it may
yeah.
it may throw him off the side of the mountain. And the fact that we don't know his exact route, he could have been anywhere.
Yeah, if he's skiing and like snowshoeing or whatever to get up, he's going to go down the way that makes the most sense at the time.
And I don't believe he had any kind of, he didn't have like a beacon on him or anything, like an avalanche beacon or anything like that, which if the one thing I would say that maybe it's too bad he didn't have was if I was going to be hiking somewhere like this in February, which I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because
you're none of the things he was.
I'm not at all trained to handle that kind of conditions. I would definitely have one of those beacons on me.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Not saying that, I mean, you're going to survive that, but at least they'll be able to find your remains and your family would get closure from it. Now, I'm not criticizing him at all. I mean, he
knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. So I'm just saying personally, like, I think I would have a beacon like that on me. So what do you think?
I'm with you. I think avalanche. If so many avalanches were happening, they couldn't even do the search.
Yeah,
I'm with. I didn't even think about the fact that he might even got hit by one and didn't know it until it was too late.
That's what I think. I mean, like you said, I guess if you're
that
on
makes
skis,
sense.
you could try and get away from it. But yeah, it sounded like the weather was getting really bad right when he started.
Yeah,
if he's up there and an avalanche hits you, you're never going to see it coming.
Do you think he made it very far?
I bet. I mean, it depends on. I mean, we don't know where he went.
It sounded like it couldn't have been more than 20 miles.
Yeah. So you think like the first day he probably got.
If the storm hit, then why not? If anything, if he's not skiing through it, he's going to take shelter.
Yeah.
And imagine if you take shelter and you get hit by an avalanche or something like that.
I mean, someone as smart as him, he may even have tried to turn around. Like,
maybe
something happened.
Maybe.
I mean, he could have fallen too. I
think avalanche.
In the Tetons, we hiked an area where we had to cross a snow-covered pass, and I mean, I was going across it like with one hand holding the mountain because like I didn't have.
And you were shaking and crying.
No, but I just had regular hiking boots on, and the snow was slippery. I mean, one misstep and I would have gone tumbling down. So.
Yeah, that would have been no good.
But now imagine like just the whole mountain is just blizzard, and I can't even imagine. I mean, this guy was badass for attempting it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But sadly, his remains haven't been found yet. It's still, a relatively fresh case, so maybe, there's hope the family will get, final closure from that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sad because it sounds like he was a really cool guy, and everyone loved him, and he was really passionate about the Marine Corps, and those are the kind of people you want in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
But other than that,
I don't have anything else.
I think for me this case is pretty clear cut, which is unusual for our cases.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely exposure. It's just what type of exposure. Was it avalanche? Was it just the weather and he succumbed to maybe getting lost in time?
Yeah, I just feel like it had to have been a freak of nature because this guy was too good.
I would say accident above just succumbing.
I think like an avalanche.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be something pretty gnarly, I think, to take to get him. So.
Yeah.
Well, let us know what you all think, and thanks again for tuning into our show. We appreciate all of you for listening and sharing Locations Unknown with your friends and family. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, where you can find all the videos of each episode, and subscriptions will hopefully be coming back soon there. Also, if you would like to support the show monetarily, please visit our website or Facebook store to buy some cool swag. And additionally, you can subscribe to our Patreon account and get access to all of the extra episodes. You can also do an Apple, wherever you go get your extra subscriptions. Lastly, when enjoying the beauty of nature, whether backpacking, camping, or simply taking a walk, always remember to leave no trace. Thank you, and we will see you all next time.